Hamza, I want to talk to you though, my friend. Top of the league now. Haaland on 50 goals. And are you sitting in a little chair? What's wrong with you? Where's the camera at? Center yourself more. There we go. Go on. Talk to us. Top of the league now, my friend.
We are top of the league. We're top of the league. We are top of the league. We're top of the league. Come on, let's go. Listen, I warned everyone, man. I've been saying from beginning, it's a joke, like literally. Like today, this is the game I needed to get that win to be confirmed, hopefully, Premier League champions. This is the game. This is the game I was worried about. Yeah. Today, listen, I lost my voice because I went to the Arsenal game. That's why I lost my voice. It was so intense. To me, what a performance by Manchester City. Listen, Arsenal have been leading the league table for 93% of the year, 93% of the season. We've only led the race now 4 days. 4 days. And hopefully we'll be crowned champions. My team is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Today, a fantastic performance. Our players are tired. We got a thin squad. People don't understand that. We have a very, 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 very thin squad. You know, it's so difficult when we have to play Haaland every time. Rodri doesn't get rested. We can't rest Rodri. We can't. Because Calvin Phillips is not good enough. We can't rest Rodri. Yeah. Sadly, he has to play. Gundogan sometimes has to play Rodri's position. Like, our players are tired. We're playing twice a week. Twice a week. We're going to the Bayern, Munich, away, home. We're battering them. We're playing Leipzig, a fantastic team in Europe. We're battering them. We go to Arsenal, we beat them. People doubted this team. People doubted Pep. Like, what an incredible team that Pep is transforming this. Like, our back line, impeccable. Probably, I would say, probably the best back line I've ever seen in the Premier League. Like, they're so solid. That's what I'm saying. They're so solid. Solid. Like, I trust them. This is the first time I really trust them. I put my heart, and I guarantee you that Real Madrid will be scared. My backline is absolutely impeccable. Absolutely fantastic. Diaz, fantastic performance. Stones, brilliant. Akanji, fantastic. 13 million. 13 million. When Arsenal bought Keo for 25 point something million, we bought this guy 13 million. 13. Yeah. Ake, fantastic. Like, he's been brilliant. But today, he showed we needed to grind this win. I told City fans, it's not going to be a comfortable win, but we need to grind this. And this is how champions win. This is why a team like us have been dominating the league last 7 years. That's why we're champions. That's why we make it look easy. We're very experienced. We're confident how to win. We know how to win. Games like this, we can... And Alvarez today. The reason why we sold Jesus is because of a player like Alvarez. Look at this boy. 22 years old. Yeah, he's so amazing. At 22 years old, he does everything you need. He presses, he will score goals, he will work hard. He's done everything as a 22-year-old. He doesn't get the mention. People don't realize how special and how lucky City are to get Alvarez from the bench, and he can play that performance. And that to score that goal is not luck. If you watch Alvarez River Plate, you'll see when he shoots, top corner. He doesn't joke. He's like Batistuta, bang. Batistuta, bang, Batigo. Brilliant. He doesn't joke around. Like, today's performance by Alvarez, outstanding. Gundogan and Rodri, brilliant. Yeah? Grealish, fantastic. Like, we were tired after that game that we've been playing. This is not the best City side today that you saw, but we needed that win. And today it showed that Arsenal, they've been the top of the league for 93%. 93 through every competition down the drain for this league. Are we serious? They threw everything, Terry. They threw everything for this league and led the race like a runner, like Mo Farah coming to the end of the line. And you're running 5,000 meters and 4,999. You fall on the finish line. Yeah? It's a bottle job. Now, our performance, it shows why Manchester City, I'm not going to say, if we win the treble, whoa. If we win the treble,
well, it'll be the second treble of your life as a fan, won't it?
Yeah, it will be. But I think if we win the treble, it will be the greatest treble of all time.
Stop that.
It was 99.
Stop that.
There's no question about it.
No.
I can't believe this.
I swear Trump was 99.
Can't believe this.
No, we're not doing it.
I said to United fans, it's so painful to say that because
Mm.
we've
Stop it,
done it.
you're lying.
Fergie won the league with 78 points. We're going to win the league with 90 points. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Yeah, Fergie threw 13 games and 3 goals. Nearly 50% of the games you couldn't win.
No, I'm
Come on,
stopping
man.
you there. You don't get to move the
Wow.
goalposts and be like, football's changed. The world's changed.
No.
You can now team score more. The game's changed. Everything's changed. Points acquired has changed. It's a completely different game. You don't get to now say, oh, because they have more points. Moving forward, teams are going to accumulate more points now than they ever did before. That's how it's going to work. The better teams are going to accumulate points. We're never going to see a League One with 80 points again. Ever. It's never going to happen. So you being like, oh, well, we want to ascend.
Hamza, just on one thing. We'll move on to that debate nearer the time.
I can't do it.
But I hear you. But my view is this. You're allowed, like this season as an example, you're allowed to make 5 substitutions, right?
Yeah.
5 subs from your squad gives you more of an advantage when it comes to accumulating more points than a team that could only make 3 subs from 4 outfield players allowed on the subs bench 20 years ago. So I think that's why you can't just look at things like for like and say it's better because of points, because the rules of football have changed. I mean, even things like the way the offside rule works, as an example, all these things play a poll. For me, it'll be up there with what Man United do if you win a treble. I'm never going to play it down. But I think let's wait and see for you to do it. Once you've done it, then I think we have those debates and we look at the merits of what each team achieved, the teams you knocked out of competitions, the runs you went on, because that's the way you measure it, if that makes sense. Remember who Man United had to knock out. Remember who we had in our group stage of the Champions League in 99. We had Barca and Bayern Munich in our groups back then.
You couldn't beat them.
We won the tournament. We won the
tournament.
But
you couldn't beat Bayern Munich and Barcelona.
But competitions are not always about beating people in 90 minutes. It's about winning the tournament, right?
But yeah, I understand. You beat Brøndby, but you couldn't beat Bayern and Barca. You only qualified because
we beat Bayern in
4 games there.
We beat Bayern in the final.
No, but you beat Inter Milan, who finished 8th in their Serie A. Hang on,
just shush while I'm talking.
I'm going to be humble.
Just shush while I'm talking.
I'm going to be humble.
But you're missing the point. Yes, we drew against those teams, but this isn't a dig at today's football. It's the way it is. You don't have groups now where you get 3 of the best teams in Europe. It's the equivalence of you, Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid this year all being in the same group stage. That doesn't happen now. It's done in a way where all the best teams typically avoid each other until later rounds. It was different. So I don't want to get into the debate. We don't have time today, but don't disrespect history just because rules have changed and regulations have changed and the size of competitions has changed. You can't just do that because it's just. Hang on a minute, what's going on there? I thought it was 3-0.
And you know what? For me personally, doing these all-time conversations every week is actually not only doing a disservice to football history, but it's doing a disservice to teams like Man City at the moment, doing a disservice to Arsenal when they were top of the league. Why I say that is simply because they have no business being in these conversations. So you almost have to downplay the incredible achievements that they're achieving at this current present moment because they have no business being in these conversations when you really deep how incredible these achievements are, like winning the treble, like going all season top of the league and winning it after 20 years or whatever the case is. Until you've done it, you can't put these in these conversations, the MSN conversations with Martinelli, Saka, and my man. Madness, man. Madness.
No, it's mad.
I was gonna save this for another time. It feels ep now. In the last 3 days, I've seen all fan bases, not everyone from those fan bases, but Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, who are the only teams, in my opinion, with an argument for greatest Premier League teams ever, along with United and City. They've all agreed this City team, if they do the treble, it will surpass Fergie's treble. These are the same fans for 22 decades that have argued their team's achievements were actually better than the treble. But now suddenly they're not even arguing that anymore. They're just going, yeah, it's better than the treble. Because so it just goes to show that they're either bullshitting now or they were bullshitting then. And that's the kind of lazy punditry that I want to call out. Because for me, all it boils down to is and especially from Goonies in this last week, how can we shit on someone else to make ourselves feel better? That's all this really is. And because nobody really worries about City yet, they don't really worry about City yet, as an example. If the Invincibles were better than Man United's treble, why are you not arguing that it's better than this treble? It doesn't make any sense. Why are you allowing Man United to suddenly become number 2 in an argument that you said you were number 1 in? It's mad. Mad.
This Man City team is not even the best Man City team they've had in the past 5 years. And I'll tell you for a simple reason why. And this is basically me using Hamza's argument against him. When you talk about points, you've had 2 teams that would finish this team. If they would win the league and they win every game left, they would have 93 points. You've had 2 teams that finished with more points than that in the last 5 years. Does that mean that these 2 teams are better than this one? You can argue, yes, because they will have added a Champions League to it. But how can this team be better than the Man United treble because they had more points? But then you're not going to use that same argument against the City team that finished with the 100 points, and I believe it was 99 or 98 the season after. So those 2 teams mathematically finished with more points than this one. So see, this is why this argument sometimes, and I'm not really attacking you, Hamza, like just personally, but this is argument, as Terry said, it's been going on a lot and people saying all this bullshit. You know, this is when these arguments come back to bite your ass, because when you try to stick to one narrative so much to prove that your rival's team was shit just because we did this or that better than you, somehow you're going to find a loophole where actually it hurts you and it hurts one of your previous teams or one of your previous arguments to make it look wrong. So instead of just sticking to like, oh, it was just points or whatever, let's look at the bigger picture. Let's include more context, like the people you faced and what year this was. And, you know, like Terry said, like how big the squads were at the time and how many subs were you allowed to make at the time, you know, and stuff like that. Let's not rewrite history. Instead, let's be like football people and understand this benefited this generation and this benefited that generation. And at the end of the day, maybe my opinion, this is better than that. Let's not dismiss what people did.
Yeah, it's true. I agree. I'm going to be humble enough. Listen, let me first get the treble. If once I get the treble, then I'll talk. I'm going to be humble. Last year, I made a video myself here, recording that I was going to release, saying I'm in the final of the Champions League when Mara scored. 15 minutes later, I was deleting that from Twitter.
Do you know what that is?
And I was so grateful. I was so grateful.
That is the football gods. You don't do it. You don't get ahead of yourselves. And that's what I would say to a lot of people. The more City fans start crowning themselves the king of English football, the more likely the likely it is, in my opinion, it ain't going to happen. There's almost an element of being humble with. I think with the Europa League, Man United got undone. There was almost like an arrogance. Yeah, we'll walk this. It's beneath us. That kind of attitude. I truly believe it. That attitude gets into dressing rooms because we know this because Jurgen Klopp yesterday told Liverpool fans to stop giving opinions on Liverpool online because they don't know what they're talking about. Clearly, they see what's being said. Things seep into dressing rooms, so stay humble.